Hi, it's Rob from the Brush and Boltgun. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to switch the old barrels from Necron Gauss Flayers to the new barrels from the new Necron Gauss Flayers. That's a pretty simple method to do. It's very quick, but you do need a sharp knife, some plastic glue, and also need to take care with the sharp knife and your fingers. So here you have a side by side with the new Necron on the left, the old Necron on the right. You can see that the barrel on the older Necron has that kind of clear, glowing plastic tube on it. Now, I've never been too much of a fan of these. When I bought some Necrons a while ago, I didn't really do much, so I wanted to change them over so they look more like the newer Necrons, to get them all to fit in a little bit better. So there's a very simple way to do this. What we need to do is we need to cut here and here on each of the Gauss Flayers, and we can start switching that out. Now, this will work if you've got the spare barrels from Indomitus. If you've used all the single barrels, so you only have the double barrel ones, this isn't too much good. It's only for single barrel switching. But once you've cut those off, you want to make sure that you have nice smooth edges on both parts that you've just cut. So once you've got that nice and smooth on both parts, you're ready to go on to the next bit. So here we've got the new Necron Gauss Flayer. You can see that the actual body of it is pretty similar to the old ones. It's only really that barrel that looks any different. So what we need to do now is to cut off the new barrel. So you want to cut that flush to the body of the weapon and cut that straight down. You can see here that you've got both parts up to the same angle, just slightly off camera there, sorry. So you're just smoothing off the main part of the barrel. Be careful with that little thin bit. You don't want to snap that because you need to trim that down a little bit. I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a moment. So just smooth off the top of that barrel so it's nice and flat. You can see by holding it to the side there that you'll have that nice join between the barrel and the body of the gun. So if you hold that steady and don't drop it, you can see roughly where you want to cut that thinner one, and it's going to be just on the join of the first circle there. Where the first circle joins those lines that go to the next circle, that's kind of where you want to cut it. So cut off a small piece roughly to that place. Cut it so that you're cutting it shorter, or cutting a shorter piece off, I should say, so that when you put that on there again, you can see that there's slightly too much. So we're going to once more trim a little tiny piece off. When you are trimming these bits off, always keep them, just in case you need to add a little piece to the body of the rifle just to get that to stay in there. If you cut it too short, you can add one of those pieces back in. If it's too long, you can just trim a slightly smaller piece off once more and just slowly shave that away until that's the right length. So now you can see, slightly off camera there, move that in a bit. Now you can see that that's joining pretty good. There is a slight gap between the lower thinner part of the barrel and where that joins on the body, but not a problem. We're adding a little bit of plastic glue to the body of the rifle where those two pieces join, and all we're going to do is get one of these smaller thin bits and place that into the glue there, and that will just give yourself that little bit of extra join if your thin part of the barrel is too short. Obviously you don't need to do that if your barrel is the right length. Once you put that on, if the little piece that you've just added starts messing around, just use the blade of your craft knife to move that roughly back into place, and then squish that back onto the body of the rifle and hold steady. Now, as I say, this works with the single barrels. The double barrel ones have a slightly different body on them, so they won't work like this. But for the single barrel ones, if you've got any of them left over, or you get a pack of the Necrons with the single barrels, then you can change these over quite well, so that you end up with all the Gauss Flayers matching. Now you do have some little pieces left over, so you can just throw them in a bits box, because you may need them at a later point for something, but that's all done. So that's the finished Necrons. Just a quick and easy tip to change them over. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. Also, think about subscribing to some of our other social media linked below. Thanks very much. If you like the channel and enjoy the content and you'd like to support us, please head to our coffee page linked below where you can buy us a brew. Thanks very much.